through, try to catch some fish. So, wow, there's no traffic coming here today. That's good. It's usually a pretty little busy road. I don't know exactly what time it is. I don't keep up with the time real good. It's probably 12:30. Yeah, probably about 12:30. Perfect time to probably be finishing up your day of fishing. Creek looks good. Can you see how far down it is there? Now, I've fished this hole for years now. That's why I'm filming this. Walk down here. I want people to see what you go through to get in here. Because it can be a little tricky. Briars. And I knew it was, that's why I set this up. Because I knew it was going to be like this today. This is June, Father's Day weekend. I'm just going to sit down and slide. For a little ways. So I can see what's going on down here. Is there snakes in here? I don't know. It looks like there could be something. It's even, tell you the truth, I knew it was going to be growed in because it's June. Now I fished down here last in April. For the last few years, this has kind of been my first spot I really go to. I caught a lot of fish in this hole, this stretch, over the years. You caught a couple of big ones. I caught a big one here. My story about this hole, about this particular hole, will be, gosh, I've been, I'm trying to remember now. Let's see. My mom was in the hospital. And wow, this really wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. It was worse. I said it was worse, and now it's not as bad. When you got down here on this level, it's not as bad as I thought. It does get even more grown in as the summer goes on. So, and you know, I know this spot good enough to know because I fished it so much. This is the best. If you go 10, 15, 20 feet, let's say, on either side of where I got in, it's much harder to get in. Now look, I tried to tilt my camera a little bit today. I noticed I wasn't really getting, look where this water was. I was here last week. And man, not on this creek, I was just here in around this area. Well, I did fish this creek last week actually, for just briefly, but not here. And look how this water is still not, the water was up. I mean, tremendous rain last week. I'm hoping, and you can see how high this water was. I'm hoping that's going to be that's going to bode well for the fishing in here today is my hope, of course, as always. I'm hoping that, this rain that was last week, because I'm telling you, I have honestly, I've seen it rain like that before, as much as it did. I got here last Friday. It was raining. I estimated at least 3 inches when I was here on that Saturday, and then Sunday it kept on raining. Friday night, Saturday and Sunday it rained. I have a rain gauge, and I estimated at least 3 inches because see, it was full and when I emptied it out, so who knows how much rained in there that didn't show. But I think the water's just still a tad bit up over here. Didn't look up at the... It looked normal. In fact, tell you the truth, it looked low. It looked a tad bit low to me. In a couple of places that I looked. Getting back to the mom in the hospital story. My wife and I were planning to come up here. I'm pretty sure we were already married then. for the weekend. We were planning to come up for the weekend. I got a call on a Friday at work. Said, don't want you to be worried, but your mom's in the hospital. I think my aunt called. Something bumped it over there. I think it's a chub. Sure didn't feel like it had a whole lot of size. Anyway, make a long story short, I'm not a big hospital person. I'm not a big doctor person. None of that. It's not this. I mean, actually, this story sounds really bad. I didn't go to the hospital. I came out here and went fishing. I think my dad went and picked up my mom. They released her Saturday. And I came down here. I think it was the first time I ever came right in this spot that I just got in. I might have been across this water before, but I got in right there for the first time. This is when I really learned this spot. It's been, kind of seems like I've been fishing this spot longer, but actually, pretty sure I did fish down through here one time before that. Is where I parked at today. There's a garage up there, and I had asked the guy, could I go down behind his place and fish one time years ago. But I came here, I caught a big brown. That's the story. Mom was in the hospital. When I got home, I had a big, I think he was 18 inches maybe. Might have been a bit bigger, but he really fought better than that. He was a really healthy fish. I don't think he was a native, but he'd been in here for a while. And then a couple of years ago, I think it might have been last year, I can't remember. Opening day, last year, year before, I caught an 18 rainbow towards the end of this stretch in a place that I looked at. Of course, you know, you always scope the holes where you caught fishing. That spot, it has changed dramatically from what it was that day. Man, we're getting some bumps out here. There's some fish right in here. I think they're chubs. And I mean, absolute terrible timing right here. It's hot, middle of the day, the exact time when you should be done fishing and be home eating lunch and taking a nap. And here I am just getting started. Man, sometimes you make it hard on yourself. I couldn't get up this morning. I set the alarm for 5:30. I was going to be here at 6 o'clock. I had noticed I had kind of need to get some tires. Tire place closes at 12. I went up there and got the tires this morning. I got there at 11 o'clock. I'm planning on being done fishing. Now usually, usually what you have to do here is cross over. I'm good at getting my leg pants wet. If you're ever tuning into these videos, that's one thing you'll see about me. Man, it's beautiful out. Look at that. I'm gonna see if I can get by, but right here in this swift part, this is where I caught that big brown that time. Man, that thing fought. Like I said, it was the first time I ever accessed this hole like this, so I caught a lot of fish out of this hole since. I mean, I'll even go as far as to say I usually catch one here when I get in, but I ain't never caught another big one like that. There's a chub over there just eating, chewing that worm as much as his little as much as he can. Now, this goes with one of my, I don't want to say pet peeves. And I almost wonder, why am I casting over there? And I got hung up. Just that's what's stupid. That really right there was stupid. It's gonna cost me. I need to change hooks, honestly, anyway. I had noticed that. Well, maybe that'll work out. I saved my swivel. And I was really gonna try a spinner anyway. But the truth is, it really don't make a whole lot of sense casting over there in that sun at this time of the day. I'm gonna have to put a hook back on because I can't not cast a worm in this hole right here. And I mean, up in the swift part, it's probably around this time of year too when I caught that big one, and that's where I caught that nice one. And since then, like I say, I generally will catch a fish here, but I don't even know if I've ever caught another fish in that swift part. I usually catch it right here in the middle of this. If I remember right, that was in the middle of the summer, and that's when they go for that swift water. a few times. So far, I've been able to say on this camera a good start. Even though I don't know how long I've been here, but this is a slow start. Minutes been recording, so maybe I'm missing 15. I don't know. Yeah, it only took me 6 minutes to get down that hill. That was a pretty good time if it was. But 21 minutes of nothing right here so far but me talking. That's not what we're here for. We're here to see trout. So I got to get on the job with it. Already starting to learn the way that the old timers taught me and that I've slightly adapted different to, and I'm starting to realize some of the things that I thought was better that they didn't. Although I had luck, and I'll tell you what I'm talking about. Although I had luck for consistently, I'm starting to learn I think they might have been right. Now I'm getting wet. I know it had nothing to do with what I was talking about just now. I was getting wet, but, well, kind of indirectly it might. I should have crossed over when I first got in there. But anyway, we're here now. Just a little wet. We're not soaked. The old timers that taught me how to do this they would say they like to fish in a small creek. When you catch more fish in a small creek, it's easier to read the water, basically, is the nutshell of it. A small creek, you're kind of taking the guessing out of where the fish might be, for one thing. And I know a lot of people don't go by that, because a lot of people like to fish these big rivers, especially people fly fishing and everything, and they stock them a lot in a lot of these big rivers, big creeks. But I don't know if it's going to be last week. I don't know if it's going to be a video or what, but I had said on here, confidence is a key to this fishing. It's drastic. I mean, it's unexplainable what a big part that plays. Last week, there's one of my footage. I'm going to a spot, and I fished that morning, and I was confident. I started tearing them up, and it rained too much. The water got too high, and I mean, I lost my confidence, but I mean, I still wasn't feeling really bad about the area or anything, because I knew that I had been catching fish. And so, but I just knew that it just become unfishable. We go to another spot, and the creek's up, it's raining like crazy. It's later that afternoon. It's really too high. It still was fishable. But It was way too high. I'm just sitting there looking at the water, looking at everything. Anyway, I get to a spot and I see a spot where there's some slack water where I was fixing to go in at a slack water spot. And it looked good because that's what you're looking for on when the water's up high like that. You're looking for some flat water where fish can rest and they're not having to fight the current so bad. So I saw that spot, and as immediately as I did, and the color of the water had something to do with it too, I guess, just from my experience of catching fish in that color of water. It wasn't too muddy, but it had color in it. And all of a sudden, my confidence boosted up. I got a boost of adrenaline almost. All of a sudden I just thought, hey, there's going to be something down here. And sure enough, I went down there and caught 2 fish, and it rained too much and got washed out. And I mean, I think this is almost an instinct thing that I'm feeling right now, just from experience. And I'm sitting here right now, throughout this whole time I've been in here, and I'm feeling unconfident. At first, you know, I thought when I was getting down in, but as soon as I started fishing, it's hot down here. It's the middle of the day, like I said. And maybe it's just my instinct that I know. Traditionally, I've had a lot of days that I didn't catch fish when it's like this. So maybe it's just that kicking in. But all of a sudden, in a quick amount of time, I got here and I become unconfident already in 15 minutes of fishing. I'm thinking, man, you know, how far am I going to have to walk to, you know, to access some fish and all of that? Now, I had a bite right here. I think it might have been a trout. He got my worm. Now, he didn't feel like no big thing. It felt like a little fish. I think it's a little native brown if I had to bet. He likes that root over there. Yep, just what I said. This Father's Day, my dad always told me never throw back the first fish. Of course, we weren't trout fishing when he was telling me that. I mean, I think that applied to everything, but wow, I hooked that fish crazy. Oh man, I got to get that hook out of you, buddy. We're on a time limit. We know the time limit. Got to get you back in the water, boss. Oh, boss. We might not even see this fish here on camera. He's tiny. Let him live. Just what I thought it was. I can tell by the way they bite. I mean, I could tell it wasn't a chub. But I could tell it was a trout. But I could tell it was a small one. That's what I thought anyway. You never know, because I had one biting last week and I thought it was a chub, and it ended up being a really nice little rainbow, probably a foot long. There's something with some size on him right there. Boy, I hope I can land this fish. The confidence is back all of a sudden, like, look at him, goodness gracious. Goodness. I'm glad I put a new hook on there just now. I hadn't even seen him yet. I just know. Wow, boy, I hope this film is recording on here. I mean, would I be crazy enough to try to look at this camera while I'm fighting this fish right here? That's a pretty native brown. 31 minutes. What can I do? I'm in a dilemma. I'm trying to look at this right here. Messing with this camera, boy. Oh, it's a rainbow. Big old rainbow. Big old rainbow. He's taking me for a loop. No, it's a big old brown. It's a big old brown. It's a big old brown. I said, y'all won't believe this. Y'all will never believe this right here. But I told myself Father's Day weekend, I might catch a big fish. I hadn't caught one all year. Oh, can I hold him? And that's not how you net one. That's not how you net one. Man, I will almost throw this fish back just now. That's just not what it's just not what it's just not what, but, oh my goodness. It's just not how I'm geared, man. I don't catch and release. Oh my goodness. Well, I got some good footage. I got proof that I caught him. I just don't do it. Man, what a fish. What a fish. I'll show you what we do with them. I mean, man, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna have to learn how to catch and release.